Welcome, welcome. I am back with more grinds, more chilling, more just hanging out, you know. Um, if you haven't watched my last stream, I I played the start of Everhood, which there's not a whole lot of story at the beginning, so it's kind of tricky because I want to get people. I realize this. It's been a while since I played Everhood, and I actually forget a lot of the story. But I didn't realize just how abstract. Well, I forget how abstract it is. So I really don't know if it made for good content or not. But I mean, whatever. It's all right. Um, I just think that like it was quite something. Deviation from the norm for sure. Hey, prayer level, nice. But yeah, if you're wanting something a little off base, you can watch that. I also just added a YouTube channel that I occasionally had posted videos to in the past, and I think I'm gonna start posting there again. So if you've watched my VODs, if you like my VODs, I'm gonna send them all over to my YouTube channel now. So feel free to give them the like and subscribe button. Give them the old thumbs up, you know. Where are you? There you are. But yeah, I realized I was like, wait a second, I can put things on YouTube because on Twitch, I learned that the VODs expire after a week or so, and so it's kind of like, well, what if I don't want them to expire, right? So they'll be going to YouTube, where they will be safe and have a nice home. I don't know why DaVinci occasionally gets that little green background. I don't love it. Don't love it. That's kind of the program, so I apologize if you're seeing the background. I think he's calibrating. What's he doing? I don't know. Sometimes he just gets a little. Yeah, DaVinci, what are you doing? Sorry, guys. You're fine. Relax, DaVinci. Thank you. It's hard to even like stream when he just keeps going off like that. Stop it, DaVinci. I don't know what's pissing him off, but sorry, one sec, guys. Sorry, I just get texts at the weirdest times, the weirdest times. Um, but yeah, it's been a while. So how's everyone doing? How's everyone doing? I was playing Lethal Company yesterday, and it's so funny. You know, you got some people who clearly have just dug into that game and totally just, they know every trick, they know every whatever, it's fantastic. And then you've got other people like myself who you know, just not sure what they're doing, And the difference in skill is it's just so funny. I think I pissed off a few of my friends because I didn't know some of the stuff that was like basic knowledge apparently. Like what one of the things is for some of these monsters in Lethal Company, the strat is to jump on the guardrail and then they can't attack you because they can't reach you, and then you beat them to death from the guardrail. So I was like, okay, yeah, I got that. I can do that, right? And so I hear the monster coming, so I jump up to the guardrail, but I overshot it, and I had like a full inventory, and I overshot it and just jumped to my death, and like I could not live that down for hours. I was like, I'm so sorry, guys. I lost four things, but I'm trying, trying my game. They're like, oh, how do you not know how to do that? How do you not know how to, you know, rail tech these guys? I have no idea. I have no idea what this is. But even not knowing, like, it's a fun group game. It's a fun, you get some people together and just kind of like jam it out. Because you know what? There's no end to the game. There's no winning. It just you know, it keeps going up. So if you're not gonna die now, you're gonna die later. It's but it's just kind of funny, that some of the stuff like, oh, don't look at this guy for more than 4.3 seconds or he'll attack you. Like, how do you know that? How do you know that specifically? Like, my frame rate is perfect, so it's going to be exactly 4.3 seconds. I don't know. It's kind of funny. Yeah, it's kind of funny that all the stuff. And then I learned that if you have a boombox, um, if you play it near a slime, the slime starts to dance, and it's great. And it just kind of chills and dances, and I'm just like, you know what? I like you, slime. You are now my favorite. But yeah, I playing some Lethal Company with some sweats and enjoying that. What else did I play? The new season of Fortnite that came out, I played that off stream a couple times. Not as much as I'd like, but a few times. And it's been really good. I think it definitely eclipses the OG month we had. Like, the map's a lot bigger, and you know what? I was saying this too, I think the last season, like before OG, all the castles and stuff, like, it was very European vibes. Whereas now you've got like villas, and I kind of feel like I'm in the south of France, which is also Europe, obviously, but like it's just very different. It's got a very different feel. It's almost like a cozier feel, you know? Italy, yeah, it kind of feels like Italy. but it's really fun. If you haven't tried it, go try it. It's worth it. And I mean, I think tomorrow they're coming out with Lego Fortnite. I don't know if it's gonna be like something you pick up, like an item to turn you into a Lego character, or if it's just full on the whole lobby's Lego characters. But that's gonna be a huge deal. So obviously I'm excited for that. Yeah, my one sec. Download back. Yeah, my friends thought I was trolling because I honest to God was not trolling. But I tried to buy a teleporter, and on the terminal in the ship, you only have to put in like the first three letters and then you're good to go, right? So I uh I went on and I was like, we need a teleporter. Let's get a teleporter. Everyone's like, yeah. And so I put in telly, and then I didn't read the thing where I wasn't reading what you're buying, confirm, deny. And so I hit confirm because what else could it be, right? And then a television pops up, and it's just like and it was like $300, and everyone was mad because I wasted all the money and we couldn't get to the like Titan moon, like the last moon, and do the good levels because I wasted all the money. And I was like, I'm sorry, guys, that was a legitimate error in judgment. I thought there was no way that could mess up, you know? My discotheque, Juliet, teenage dreams. I'm trying to I'm trying to think of other games that people like really get into, like really sink their teeth into. Like, what's a good one right now? Well, I know Baldur's Gate. Everyone's really into Baldur's Gate. Da 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 da. Hey, hey. I can almost wield rune stuff. Oh no, that's not strength, that's attack. I can wield rune stuff. Why don't I have a rune two-hander? Hang on a sec. Hang on a sec. I've been handicapping myself this whole time. There you are. Yeah, there's Baldur's Gate. What else? What else is there? What are good games that are out right now? They're like taking the world by storm. Because Baldur's Gate isn't even that new. Oh yeah, everyone's talking about yeah. You can't go into a stream without hearing about the new Grand Theft Auto trailer. Is it real? Is it fake? Is it gameplay? Is it what? What is it, gonna come out and be trash, right? I don't want to be devil's advocate, but with a year and a half out, one, technology is going to be crazy, technology moves fast. It does, you can't deny it, right? So I'm not saying by any means that it's impossible for that to be the case, but will they? Will they make it that good? Is a different story, right? And it's like it's kind of, I want to hope that it'll be great. I want to believe that it's gonna be fantastic. It's gonna be so good. Screw it, just withdraw all. We'll put it back in. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm buying a Rune 2-hander. Beauty. Alright. There it is. There it is. Alright. Yeah, I mean it's going to be a good game regardless. It's one of those, it's like it's going to be awesome. It's going to be something, I mean it's Grand Theft Auto, guys. It's not gonna be something terrible, right? But that being said, devil's advocate, right? It's how long do we wait for Cyberpunk? And then Cyberpunk came out, and need I say more, And Cyberpunk existed for a while. And everyone was like, well, this is not the game that we were shown. Right? I mean, what's another one? I could easily pull another one out of my hat. Let's see. No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky was supposed to be this great, And the thing is, the games get there. They get there, but they're not initially what they're sold as, right? And that's kind of what always kind of grinds my gears. I mean, it could be, and you know what? I'd love to be proven wrong. I'd love for that to be the case, and that's something that like Baldur's Gate did really well. Is that what you saw was what you got, right? It wasn't like, just kidding, we're only gonna give you 2 frames instead of a bajillion, right? Or the quests are actually gonna be garbage. Like, they actually delivered, which is cool. It's cool to see, because it means that they care, right? It's kind of why I've got this running theory that, like, the people who make games, and in order to be in that industry, I feel like you have to have a love of games. The entrance, there should be like an entrance test, and it should be like totally game related. Like I want to see, if you're going to make games, I want you to tell me, okay, um, you know, what is the villain in the Legend of Zelda franchise, you know? Um, you know, what weapon does Luigi use in his games? You know, if you're going to develop games, I want you to have knowledge of the game universes, right? Just as a way of saying, just a way of you saying to people that you actually care about games, right? And obviously those two are just like simple, basic Nintendo facts, but like they could do a lot. They could do a lot. Or if it's a franchise, you could have like take this test to, do you know about the franchise, right? Like God of War. Tell me about Kratos. How do you feel about Kratos? Write a 100-page essay about Kratos before you're allowed to be a part of the team. I think that would be cool, because then the people that are coming in to do this stuff are the people who know, and they know they're going to be invested. They're going to be like, but what about this plot hole? But what about this? You know, like, how can we remember what happened in this part of the franchise like 2 games ago? How can we involve that in the story now, right? It's going to bring out the people who really, really, really are invested. And I wish more fields drew people towards them who were in it because they liked it and not because of the money that came with it, you know? Like, it's one of those things, if all jobs paid the same, what would you do, right? I kind of wish that was the case, because because then the people who be working on video games would be people who love video games, right? And I'm not saying there aren't those people there, but I'm not saying, you know, that's probably not 100% of the people in the building, right? And you can tell. You can tell. Like, who is it? There's that one guy. He's he's an admin on Rust, and I've never played Rust, mind you, but you just hear about this guy because he's just fantastic in, I guess, how he bans, because Rust is full of cheaters, and the way that he goes about banning them is like ridiculous. Instead of just banning them, he'll like mess with their heads. He'll put like landmines on a bear and then put sick the bear on the player and then just make their bodies explode and stuff. It's just he really enjoys it and has fun with it, and you can tell, right? And it's not just I think he's got a YouTube channel because it's not just, oh, well, here's a ban, you're out of rust. First he's gonna just like, well, what if your base suddenly was full of landmines? How would you feel about that, right? Or what if all your gear just despawned? It's fun. It's fun to see him do that. Hey, where'd you go? There we go. And there are other games, and there are yeah, there you can always tell. You can always tell where it's like I'm kind of invested, but not really, or I'm just totally not invested. Um, One game that is very dynamic and very uh, it changes a lot for the players and talks to the players is Sea of Thieves by Rare. So it's this online basically sandbox, be a pirate, and you could it there's no real there is a story, and there's little like story quests you can do, but those are like 2% of the game, right? The rest of it's just a sandbox. Like, what are you gonna do as a pirate? Are you going to you know attack other people? Are you going to try and dig up treasure? Are you going to try and find little like secret underwater fortunes? Like it's very open. It's very you decide, right? But what they do is they have just constantly input from the players, and they'll change things based on that. Like they have a whole like second game that you can actually download called Sea of Thieves Insider. And what it is, it's basically like trying out new things that they're thinking about implementing into the game. And then the insiders, it's you have to sign an NDA before you can get in there. And if you're an insider, then you're trying out new features and you get feedback. And then they're like, yeah, that works, that doesn't work. All right, we won't put it in the game. We won't put it in the core game. But the amount of just like, okay, all right, you guys don't like this, we won't do it, is amazing, right? It's amazing. And it's nothing extra, it's nothing, and by all means, it's not like Sea of Thieves is a perfect game. It is buggy as hell. But it's fun. It's fun. If you love the pirate's life, this is a game for you, right? But what you make of it, right? If you can't make your own fun, it's only gonna last you as long as those missions, right? But if you embrace it and you just kind of are like, yeah, you know, I'm gonna get as much treasure as I can, and my ship's gonna be laden with treasure, and I'm gonna be worth like $1 bajillion, and you know, I'm gonna be killing other pirates, and it's gonna be great. We're gonna have a great time. If then yeah, it's totally that. And there are secrets in the game that actually require you to have. I know of one that requires you to have at least 8 people getting along at once, doing a very specific thing in a very specific spot. And it's so hard. There's an achievement for it, and I think it's like a 0.1% achievement because it just, unless you're, you know, unless you happen to be on a server that has uh, a huge alliance or something, and they're all willing to take the time out of their day to do this, you're not gonna see what's there, right? You're not gonna get this achievement done because it requires 8 people. And but it's so cool that they've even put something in there. Like that just there's just so many little secrets and little optional things, right? It's just it's so cool. It, when games take the time to listen, when the people who develop games take the time to listen to their people, to the people that play the games, like it's magic. It's magical. I will say it. It's fantastic. Um, and now same thing. So No Man's Sky and Cyberpunk, now they're great. They're both really good games. But they just they didn't uh initially offer what was promised, you know? But they got there. And they got there. And I'm still salty about Gotham Knights because they did not offer what was promised. Like the idea that, you know, after all the Arkham games, you come out with this Gotham Knights game, and it's, you know, supposed to be the spiritual successor, and it's supposed to be all this good stuff. And you know, Arkham City was fantastic. Arkham Asylum, Arkham Knight, yeah, but you know, the promise of greatness was there, right? And then it just kind of died, and it was sad because Gotham Knights was just kind of like a lukewarm cup of water. A lukewarm cup of water is what it was. Because you can't say it was terrible, but I can't say it really wowed me, you know? And you think with a game that has 4 times the DC heroes of Arkham City, right? Like you think that'd be, oh man, that was so cool. But it kind of just petered out, which is which was sad. Um, but yeah, it is what it is. That's my rant there. That's my rant there. I'm probably gonna talk in a circle if I don't cut myself off. It's there is one thing I liked about a good idea that they had for Arkham City that kind of fell to the wayside, but was so good but got botched was the multiplayer. If you're not familiar with it right away, the multiplayer was you basically had 3 teams, and you had the Joker and his gang, Bane and his gang, and then you had Batman and Robin. And it was a good idea because the gangs were fighting each other for, I think it was basically like command posts, whatever, right? And then Batman and Robin would come in, and they were just the like outcasts, just trying to kill everyone. Sorry, not kill, knock everyone out, right? Um, and then occasionally, whoever would get randomly spawned as Bane or whatever randomly spawned as Joker instead of a henchman. But and it that sounded cool. Like that, it does sound cool, right? Um, it flopped because everyone wanted to be Batman and Robin, right? Which was like 2 of the 10 spots, And when people didn't get the Batman Robin role, they DC. And then the rest of the lobby would just like, well, guess we're not having, that part of the game, which was a big part of the game, right? A big part of the experience was worrying about like where Batman and Robin were all the time. And everybody just wanted to be Batman and Robin. It was like, I get it, especially because it's a Batman game. But at the same time, we all take turns like adults. What are some other good games? Um, let's see. I think a lot of the times the not the minimalist, but the games that are kind of off kilter can hit home harder than the AAA titles, Like I talk about it a lot, but Amori Amori will rock you harder than, you will spend the next week after you beat Amori wondering about Amori, you know? Whereas once you play through, uh, like Hogwarts Legacy, then you're kind of done, right? There's no, that's kind of it, right? All right, we're gonna move to defend now because that's the last one I need to get up to 40, and then I can wear rune armor. But games that still make you think after the fact, or make you revisit, And Everhood is another one of those games where you can't really see it in the playthrough I've gotten so far, because the story kind of you have to pay attention to get the story. It isn't spelt out for you that like, hey, this is happening. Hey, pay it, hey, sometimes the goals aren't really what they say they are. It's a lot of I don't want to say without spoiling it. It's one of those games where after you beat it, you'll look back and be like, "Oh, this is what is happening. I get it, right?" And it's you play it first for the gameplay and then replay it for the story. Sorry guys, I don't mean to I go from super loud to super quiet. I just I have work emails I have to answer at the same time. Oh, mysterious old man, he's here. He's probably wondering what I'm doing too. Give me a hot minute. Hello. Hey, Shaggy4544. Would you like to come and perform in a mime show? Yeah, I would. Let's do a mime show. You need to copy the mime's performance, then you'll be awarded. Dance. Bam. I don't know which one that is. I don't know which one that is. Is that lean? This is one of the weird ones. Like, this is... Between this and the, like, the pinball game. The driving? What is that? Oh, climb rope. You can now use a glass wall emote. Yay. Because that matters at all. Okay, now we're back. Did I switch to block? Yeah, block. Whew. Am I level 50? I'm level 50. Hello. Hello. Coming on in. Yeah, there's one game that I plan on streaming as well. So my streaming ideas are all over the map. They're all over the map. I want to stream like 8 different games, you know, and I put them all on my profile, just like here's what I want to stream. But it's funny because I stream stuff that, or I want to stream stuff that I think that, you know, everyone would enjoy, but also games that I have played and liked, right? And it's kind of like, for those ones, they're not the most up-to-date games, you know? But what I find is that for some of them, they're so good, I have yet to, even though they're kind of old, I have yet to find a game that surpasses them in terms of like enjoyability for that like franchise. So like for Star Wars, Jedi Academy, by and large, and I will say it's close between Jedi Academy and Knights of the Old Republic, but for it, especially if you consider the time frame, Jedi Academy, you know, it came out ages ago, but way before Knights of the Old Republic, it had the morality system. It had a good bad plot line, right? You could get good powers or bad powers, and if you got bad powers, Luke and one of the other characters, Cal Katarn, your master, would start being like, would progressively get more and more concerned about you, you know? They'd be like, I don't think you should be powering up your force choke the way you are, you know? Maybe let's talk about it, all right? Maybe let's talk our feelings out, right? And but you had the option, right? And it was a very well done game where it was like sections where it was like you had to do X amount of missions and then you could progress the next story mission. But if you wanted to, you could do another mission to get your force power stronger before heading off to the next story mission. And this was all way before Knights of the Old Republic. Like, it's crazy. But it was so good. And the multiplayer was phenomenal. I mean, it was phenomenal. The player base, I'm sure, is gone now. But yeah, it was insane because you had everybody modding it up, right? You had all these different skins, you had all these different maps, and there was, you know, there wasn't anything that was like LucasArts. Is it LucasArts? Yeah, it wasn't coming in and saying, "Oh no, you can't do this." They were like, "Sure, you know, make good maps, make some sick maps for our community. Like, we love it." And you know, when a game developer is on board like that, and they're just like, "Hey, I see what you're doing. I like it. You know, keep it up. You know," I think it encourages the community more, right? But yeah, it was a very well done game, and I'm hoping to stream it to you guys soon. Obviously, since the multiplayer is dead, I can't, you know, I'm not going to stream a dead multiplayer, which is too bad because the multiplayer was kind of fun. It was like, you know, it was, I'd say one of the highlights of the game was the multiplayer. And maybe again, because that was uh, first of its kind, right? Suck it. Give me one sec. Yes, I mean, and I might play through Knights of the Republic again. I am a huge Star Wars fan, so that is a big one. That is a big one for me. There's yeah, like oh, why does that keep happening? There's some fun games that I'm sure a lot of people have heard of Age of Empires, right? I mean that's a classic too, right? That's that happened way back. Um, but they did one where they brought in um, old mythologies and they called it Age Mythology, and it was really cool because you could just pick which pantheon you want to worship and which god in that pantheon you want as like your primary god. And it was super cool because if you did like the Norse style of fighting, like they would get more god power by being aggressive, right? Whereas the Egyptians were more exploratory, right? And it was very well done, you know? And with god powers you could buy, like mythical creatures from that pantheon, like the Greeks could have the Cyclops or whatever, and the Egyptians could have the Sphinx and stuff. It was really well done. It was I think there are still some people who play it, which again says a lot about how it's aged like wine. It's hey, come here. Yeah. Also, this rune two-hander is making this a very simple task. I should have gotten this way earlier. For those of you that don't know, the rune set is the strongest free-to-play set in the game. If I want to get any more power, I need to actually go and get a membership. So, yeah, I basically capped myself out now. And I'm mad that I didn't bring Rune when I went to fight the dragon. Like, that was dumb of me. But it's cool. It's cool. I'm not upset. What is my prayer at? What can I pray about? Rapid heal. Level 22, and I'm level 20. Okay. Ideally, I get rapid heal before I fight the dragon again as well. Which is okay, because I got 5 more levels to get defense. Oh, well, if you guys are enjoying my nattering on, and if you're watching the VOD, I mean, I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you're enjoying a little grind sesh. But yeah, I did add to YouTube these videos. And if you are watching the VOD, what? Oh, I just did events. If you are watching the VOD, I appreciate it. Like I see, I go on and it says, 12 people have watched your VOD. I don't know who. I can't see who. But I appreciate it. So thank you. I get that, you can't be on Twitch at work or whatnot, but or maybe you're watching someone else or so, but it's cool that people have come in and, are watching it. So, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. It's strange, but cool. But yeah, so I did move all my VODs over to my YouTube channel that I put in my bio because they have expiration dates on Twitch. Twitch only holds them for like a week. So I've moved them all to YouTube so that they can be enjoyed for a little bit longer. Don't come stealing my barbarian. Back off. But yeah, I don't think you can like videos on Twitch after the fact VODs, so but even just the fact they've been viewed, I'm kind of like, oh, okay. It's weird. I'm curious who's watching my videos, but I know I'll never know, but I'm curious. Like, do you like my hot takes on gaming or on the fact that the gaming industry needs to be more, by gamers for gamers? If that's so, I'd love to hear about it because, and I'm going to do the same thing now with all the videos I post is all the live streams I do is I'm going to move them over to YouTube. So if you watch them and if you've got an opinion on something I've said, feel free to, because you can't post it on a Twitch after the fact, right? But feel free to drop a comment on the YouTubes because I'll read it, and if you don't like where I'm coming from, or if you do like it, I'd love to get some discussion going because I want to hear not just my own thoughts. I hear those all the time. It would be good to get some fresh ears, some fresh ears on this. Right. Ow. Yeah, I'll make the rapid heal level. I think what I'll have to do is I'll buy some like regular rune to wear to the boss fight and just not that gilded rune because it's so expensive. Like I can't believe I got it from that drop party. And then that'll probably be what I need for the dragon. But we still need to grind like 4 more levels. So that's okay. That'll take us. That'll take us probably this stream. I wonder like the peak time to play RuneScape is, because sometimes you just get like 4 or 5 people suddenly killing all the barbarians at once, and then sometimes there's no one here. I was actually playing off stream um, yesterday night, and it was crazy. So I'm sitting. I was basically here, where I am now, playing a barbarian, and then I see one dude dressed in dark wizard robes with a fire staff walking down around the dead trees. Okay, and then I see another, and then I see another, and then it turned into like a 15-person thing. They were all just going following each other down the line, going who knows where, right? And part of me is like, is this just a series of bots? Or is this like a guild? I don't really know. I don't really know. It was just like I almost thought the game was glitching for a sec because it was just like, you know, when they have pictures of, like people running really fast in the after image, it was like that times 15. I like stopped fighting and moved over to just see, and I was like, this is weird. I clicked on one of them and I hovered over the report button, but then I'm like, I don't know. They could just be a bunch of people doing something stupid. Not even stupid, they just could be a bunch of people. Oh, time to fish again. Fishing. Mm-mm. Yeah, fishing already level 51. Like, it's crazy. What's gonna suck is crafting is going to become relevant when I'm a member, and it's not really relevant in the free to play. So I'm not gonna have. I'll be member, but then I'll have to come back out to free to play just to friggin' craft, which sucks. Because even though you're like member, noise level 16, they still have quests going from like the beginning, you know, like quests that are only require you to have level 5, all the way up to quests that require you to have, level 90, right? It just, you know, in order to be able to do as many quests as I can and kind of make the most of my membership, you have to kind of level up outside of members, right? You don't have to, but it's the money saving way of doing it, I guess. Because there's special like fishing spots and there's special, you know, um, crafting spots and there's all that. Oh, I didn't burn anything inside members, right? But they're a lot better and you get a lot more from them if you're higher level, even though the entry level is kind of low. Boop. And yeah, once I get my Switch switched up, I was gonna try and see if I could just stream off of it. Thing is, I can stream Fortnite and I can stream stuff on my PS5, but I lose DaVinci in the process. I lose DaVinci, I lose my VTuber status. And I'm pretty sure the same goes for streaming off my Switch, and that I lose DaVinci. But it's doable. We'll see. We'll see. If I lose DaVinci for a couple streams, I'm sure you guys don't mind. The issue is leveling up defense like this, because it's defense, I don't get hit as often or as hard. So my fish are kind of going, and they're sticking around way too long, so I can't I don't care about you. Get here. They're sticking around and they're taking up space in my inventory. I don't want. We'll see. Because I might stream if it takes, if it works, and I lose Da Vinci. Maybe I'll stream Tears of the Kingdom. Fork Knife. I will stream Fork Knight. Fork Knight. I will stream that off my PS5. That should be a no issue. Because I do want to level up because I want the Peter Griffin skin. It would be cool if I could stream it as well. But yeah, I lose Da Vinci in the process. I put so much effort into him. I didn't put any. I put minimal effort into him. I tried to find googly eyes to put on him. So like, if there's a shocking moment, I can make him have a shocked face. But that's still a work in progress. I need to adjust his, like, the facial expressions better. But, you know, it's all a work in progress. It's steps, right? Steps. It's a whole area of the world I was not aware of. Like this whole even getting this little Da Vinci going, I had to look at YouTube. I'm not ashamed to say it. I had to look at YouTube to figure out what the hell I was doing. Because it's not like, yeah, there's a lot of, the thing is there's a lot of different ways to go about doing it. And I had to figure out what it's like a good way for me to do it. And get Da Vinci in his all his glory. I will, you know, get a, well, ideally a 3D model at soon point, you know. What that model is, I don't know. Will I change Da Vinci into something else? Maybe. Because, I mean, he's there, he exists, but he's kind of a placeholder in that he exists until he's no longer useful. Hey. Which, you know, that's just how the world is. I'm sorry, Da Vinci. I have kind of solidified on a new name for my channel, as well as well, a new name, I guess is a good start. And then I'm kind of figuring out how that's gonna new identity, how it's gonna look, how it's gonna feel, right? Because I want everything to kind of work together, like the if you gift a sub, if you follow, if you gift bits, whatever. I want that all to have kind of the same overarching theme, which right now, aside from DaVinci, is all Shaggy, which is cool, right? But like I talked about, it's not something that I can maintain when if this ever goes anywhere, right? Then I've got to switch it up. So, and once you get big, you can't like rebrand without questions, right? No, not without questions, but without like losing, I feel, a lot of your audience. So if I'm going to rebrand, I might as well do it sooner than later. Yeah, if I can get something to kind of bring it all together, wrap it all up, like a little Christmas happiness. Defense level. But yeah, we'll see what happens. It's all work in progress, right? Like I've got you guys watching my VODs. Um, and anyone who's watched me live is kind of, it's cool. I appreciate it. I've got like one person who I'm surprised actually isn't in the chat right now because they're fairly consistent about being here. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Usually as soon as like I don't know if they follow me on Twitter or whatnot, but as soon as I post, they're in. and we usually have like a nice back and forth for the majority of the stream, which is nice. Like I was saying, it's good to have someone to kind of just like bounce off of, right? Because it's just me in the stream, you know. I know I'm amazing to talk to, and I am, but I can also hit lulls, as I am a human. So, you know, it's good to have someone who can, you know, you're just like, oh, how's Fortnite? Oh, it's been going great, you know. Yeah, speaking of, I might stream Fortnite without DaVinci later. I just feel like I'm a little upset that I can't transfer him to the PS5 without. I know there's like ways that involve sending things from the PS5 to the computer, technical jargon, blah blah blah. Um, but I don't have the proper thing for that yet. So I lose DaVinci. It's all right. It's all right. It's okay. I initially thought that because I didn't have a camera, that, you know, I would get anyone watching, period, right? So when I did my first couple streams and then I realized I like went into adjust something in the video producer thing, and then it was like, oh, by the way, this many people have watched your VOD. Like, what? Where are these people coming from? Like, what? I will maintain that anyone who's watching my VOD is watching it for the hot gaming commentary they can only find here, and not for any other reason. RuneScape is secondary. This guy's level 17. That'll be worth it. Give me some more law runes. Yo, where are we going, friend? That tree is just in the way, hey? There we go, we got a nice little, this is a new jam. I wonder if that's because we're at the log cabin here, the longhouse. I don't know if it really fits with Vikings, but, or not Vikings, barbarians, but okay. And even the people that just come into my stream for a little bit, I'm like, you are here for my awesome commentary about video games. I know you are. Don't even worry about it. The screen could be black and you would be here for my video game commentary. About how the world needs more passionate developers. And that's a hard and fast truth. I want more passion. If I knew how to develop games, which honestly, I feel like if I got RPG Maker, I would just, you know, I could lose myself in making a game. But if I knew the ins and outs of it, I would make a story so damn complex and so like, wow, you know, I would go so hard. I'd be like the IKEA guy who, you know, doesn't want the price of hot dogs to go up. I'd be willing to kill the CEO if they raise the price of my video game ideas. I would, you know, I would be... I think that's one job where I would actually be like, no, we're not doing it this way, we're doing it my way because fuck you. Like, I find in a lot of jobs, I'm like, you know what? This doesn't matter, so fine, we'll do it your way because it doesn't matter. And this is just like stroking your ego, right? But if I was to be a video game designer, I'd be like, you don't understand. We are creating worlds here. We are creating life. We need story. We need to make sure we've filled all the plot holes. We need to make sure that we filled all the, like, we've left some questions at the end, you know? We've left some open-ended possibilities, right? Secret bosses. Gotta have good secret bosses. I think there's so much, you know, there's so much that, yeah, you know. I might be a little outdated to go to programming school. Learn all that stuff now, I'm afraid, but I do my thing, and then, you know, I just judge people for video games as a hobby. Oh, yeah, there we go. I don't even need to eat this fish. I'm just chowing down because defense doesn't take any hits. More chaos runes. These runes used to not come along very often. They used to be few far between, you know? Chaos runes, they used to mean something, man. They used to mean something. I feel like I'm just aging myself. I was here when? Well, I was here back in the day. But I was here back in the day. I was here. See this guy with his fancy like gold trimmed armor? I was here before that was a thing. I was here when that got introduced. And you know what happened when that got introduced? You had a bunch of people, because no one was sure how to get it, right? Only a select few billionaires in RuneScape had it. When that got introduced, you had people standing in the banks who were saying, they were spamming in chat that they could trim your armor if you gave them all your armor and gold bars. And they said it was like a secret crafting skill that they had, you know? And people believed them, and people would give them their armor, and they would be like, "Oh, I want my rune armor trimmed," and then they just take their rune armor. They just take it. They just take it like insane people. And I actually have no idea how initially it was achieved, got. I have no idea. But some people found it at the beginning. Maybe it was a members thing. I don't know, but it caused quite the stir. Yeah, I remember people would they'd trade it, and then you'd see them like begging the person to give them their armor back. Like, did you trim it yet? Can I have it? Can I see? That was kind of funny. And it was just so it was so obscure. It was like to this day I have no idea how it came out. What like what were the initial conditions to get it, right? Yeah, there were so many fun little things like that. Party hats were another big one where it was just like you got them from New Year's crackers was the initial party hat drop was New Year's crackers, but people would just go on and on about I can get you party hats. It'll cost you, but I know a guy, you know? And no one knew a guy. No one knew. There was no guy. No one knew this guy. But people would just like, sure, here, take, all my RuneScape life savings and disappear. I'm sure you'll come back with a party hat for me. Because why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you be truthful in a game where everyone is anonymous? Santa hats, yeah, Santa hats were big ones. Um, the scythe. If anyone remembers the scythe, it was like the last real proper um, event piece that they did, and it was for Halloween, and it was you did a quest, like you actually had to do quests to get items, right? This was how it was done. And one of the for the scythe you had to do a quest, and at the end of it you got this weapon, two-handed, like Grim Reaper style, and it was good. It was a decent weapon, and because it was rare, it got you, people were after you. They were like, it was tradable. People were like, "Hey, I want it. What can I give you? I will give you everything for this, scythe." And it was a huge deal because I don't think the event was on for that long. But I think I do think that specific event and the following chaos in everybody wanting a piece of it is what turned the game into having a holiday item trader, which, it's just kind of. I liked the quests. I liked the exclusivity. I like the all of it, and now it's gone. Yeah, there's another. I could probably spend entire streams doing mining and just grinding mining. Oh, I should do? I should do a stream where I do just mining and crafting on RuneScape and just call it my Minecraft stream. I'm going to do that. That's going to be one of my streams because that's just such a good idea. Because I'm brilliant. That would be funny. Hey, level 36. Ooh, level 51. I'm powering up. Am I actually going to make this rapid heal level? Ooh. Uh-oh. I don't know if I am. I'm too cracked. Too cracked at the RuneScape. I don't know if it's possible. I can't get enough bones in that amount of time. What do you think? Should I go for it? Should I go for the dragon now? Once I get to 40. Once I get to 40, don't jump the gun, Shaggy. That's what happened last time. Not jumping the gun. Not again. I know the dragon's fun. Alright. Ugh, this guy's taking away. He's taking all of them. Oh, there's two. There's two gold trim guys. What are there? Okay. Usually when people are botting, they'll all have similar names. They'll literally, because they're super clever, they'll like say, J the man 1, J the man 2, J the man 3, like it's great and all. But And when they do things like that, I don't know, I don't understand how they're not like removed instantly. Because it's like, yo, they are doing the exact same thing, you know? They're all wearing the default outfit. They're all just like chopping trees or whatever the heck they're doing, right? Like how does that slip by the mods? I don't know. I don't know, like, do they take people as mods in the game? Like, is there a I want to be a mod button? Because I do that. I mean, I play this game enough. Being a mod, having mod powers would be fun. I actually don't know what mod powers would have in old school RuneScape. What would a mod be able to do? Maybe just kind of teleport to where the cheaters are to investigate, but I don't feel like they could do a lot other than lay the ban hammer down. I don't know if that's worth. Yo, it's getting so dark here, like so early. I don't know what's going on. Well, I know what's going on, but like, I hate it. I want my vitamin D back, please. Yeah, you know, like, it's great. The sun is doing a thing. It's fantastic. This dude's trying to stab him. Walk away, bud. Walk away. See, now it's just heated here. Now there's so many people here. Kinda sucks. There's someone in here? Hello. I wish they'd make a new, like, good Lord of the Rings game. I wish... Like, Shadow of Mordor, Shadow of War were awesome. They were awesome. They were awesome. I really think that Lord of the Rings kind of hit its peak in the GameCube kind of era. I say that not really knowing when that was. I just remember the games. Because they had such good, you know, they had both like canon and not canon games, you know, like games from based on the movies, and then also like there was one I remember on the GameCube called Lord of the Rings: The Third Age, and you played as, you know, um, it was an elf, a dwarf, and a guy, but it wasn't, you know, Legolas, Gimli, and Aragorn. It was just like another trio who just happened to find themselves stuck together for other reasons. Like they had a whole separate story, and it was well done. It was well done. The combat was well done, and I know there's people out there that are trying to like remake um, Battle for Middle Earth, which is like kind of the RTS Lord of the Rings game, and I don't know how far they are on it, but they're remaking it and they're like bumping it up to HD and bringing in a whole bunch of new stuff. It looks like it's going to be really good. Last I checked in on the update, but yeah, there's there's like a Discord and there's a website where it's like Reforged or something, and they're taking those games and they're just, you know, uh, it's the RTS game, and then they also came out with something like the equivalent to Star Wars Battlefront, but it was Lord of the Rings. And honestly, it was meh. It was it was all right. Wasn't great. Wasn't terrible. It was all right. Um, but if you're like a Lord of the Rings fan, it was your only option, right? So it was enjoyable for that, right? But I think after they finish doing the RTS, they're going to move on to that and bring that back as well with new law runes with new graphics and stuff. Which, I mean, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. And if they were able to put on Steam or somewhere where it's publicly accessible, because, you know, if they get it out, that's fine and great. But if they don't have it on Steam, if it's on some like sketchy link on their website, less people are going to want to download it. And so the player base is going to be kind of limited to just like the most hardcore and trusting of people, right? Oh yeah, heal right up. But if it's on Steam and can actually see it, that would be, oh man. And it should be on Steam because the original ones didn't make it to Steam for reasons unbeknown to me. Maybe it just didn't work out like timing wise, but it was out the same time as the original Star Wars Battlefront, and that was on PS2 and that's made it to Steam. So I'm kind of curious as to why. But I don't think there's a completion date or anything like that. So I think we gotta sit back and just kind of wait for that one, unfortunately. Wait, dream, because that would be fun. That would be fun. You could even like in terms of the heroes you could play as on the evil side, you could even play as Sauron. And I remember there was a there was this like glitch that would happen because Sauron was like, you know, his 9 foot tall self, right? And what would happen if you played on you could fight in the Shire, right? And it was think like Star Wars Battlefront. That's the same game, right? And what would happen was half the map was over this bridge, like over this river, over the Brandywine River, and in order to get to half the map, you have to cross this choke point, right? And if you're Sauron, if you chose, if you know you had enough points and you were like, oh, I'm gonna be Sauron, and you're wiping everyone out on where you spawn on your side, right? It's fantastic. But as soon as you try crossing the bridge, there's like a height gap or a height limit, and if it passes whatever the threshold is, an eagle will swoop down and just like insta kill you. It doesn't matter who you are. And because Sauron was so tall, he couldn't get across the bridge without the eagle coming down and insta killing him, despite him being a hero and having like extra health and everything. Like, and it totally broke the map because you would just clear one side, but you could never go and push forward because you just have an eagle wipe you out every time you tried. And it was so frustrating, and you couldn't go into the water. You had to use this bridge, and it essentially just like crippled your hero. Bam. Done. More bones. Bones for the bones god. Oh yeah, prayer is another one that like is kind of relevant in free to play, but when you really get going and like members, you can swap your prayers out for like weird kind of freaky cult prayers, and like both the prayer book and the magic book, you get different options to do with them. So it's kind of like, oh, I want my prayers to be, you know, something that's not just generic, boost my attack, strength, defense, whatever. I want my prayers to like trap you in vines. There, there's a prayer for that, you know. In members, you can just like choose a different religion. It's kind of cool. Just like there's a sword you get from one of the quests, and it's like the only sword that can kill this demon, right? So you get it and you kill the demon, and then you put it back in your inventory and never think about it again, right? You put it back in your bank, and that's the end of that, right? You're like, fantastic. But in members, there's actually quests that require you to take that sword back out and like turn it into something else, like reforge it, and it gets stronger and becomes like more of a intense weapon that's actually worth remembering. You might actually keep and hold on to after the fact. Which is pretty cool because there's a lot of stuff that like quest items, you know, they're quest items. You use it the one time, and then it's like, well, put you in my bank slot, and then you'll just sit there for the rest of the time. Whereas if you have members, it's like, hopefully hopefully you kept the sword because you kind of need it to progress further now. Yeah, it's like it's like the sword's called Silverlight, but if you do the members quest, you like do some kind of spell on it and it turns evil, like the sword turns evil when it was supposed to be like the best sword ever. You know, it's a morally a subjective sword. And it turns into what is it called? It's called like dark light or something, and you've essentially corrupted the sword, which I think is hilarious. Oh, clue scroll. Oh, drop everything. There's a clue scroll. And if we do it, we might get, you know, a black plate body. If if they like you need to kill, I think demons drop the fanciest clue scrolls. And you do those, you get like then it's worth it. But it's also like time consuming because the beginner clue scrolls is like 2, 3 steps and then you find the treasure. But the expert ones, the clues are harder. Like there's the riddles are crazy. You know, there's a lot more to it. But the end results is like the gilded armor and you know hundreds of thousands of gold. But the beginner ones kind of suck. It's like here's a sapphire. Hope you like sapphires. Hope you enjoyed running around from like the beginning of the game to the end and back again. And figuring out these coordinates. But they don't even do it like that anymore. Actually, I think I have one in my bank. What they do now for like, they give you like an orb and it'll basically just hot cold you, you know, whether or not you're getting close to the treasure. It'll just give you a hot cold. And you have to get exactly on, like there's, I don't think there is a grace period of a square. Like you have to be on it and then dig. And it's just like, when I figured that out, I was like, nah, nah, I'm not doing this anymore. Not for a beginner clue scroll. Come on. Level 39. So I think I get to level 40 defense. Pump myself up for the dragon. And then see what time it is. I don't know. I think that's this red clay armor that this guy has. I'm not sure where that's from. I think it's some like gladiator thing that's members. But I really have no idea. It looks cool. I mean, you notice it. That's the thing, right? Like it's a statement. I always think the more unique the armor, the better. Like, at this point, everyone's got rune armor. It doesn't cost an arm and a leg, you know? It's not wow, right? But like that, I've got the rune trimmed armor that I got from that party, and I feel like that's still pretty rare. And it's not gold trimmed, it's like, it's kind of got this like teal trim to it, which is, I think, kind of cool. Oh, who's this? Sup, friend? Private. You've been recommended for my corps. Do you think you'd be the best? I mean, let's do it. Follow my orders, and you may leave here in a fit state. Get yourself over there and jog on the mat. Look at me go! Get yourself on there, over there, and jog on the mat, private. Get to this mat, jog on spot. Okay. Oh shit, that wasn't the one. I did push-ups, I'm sorry. Okay. Let's go! Sit-ups. That is the one I'm on. Jog on that mat. That is the one I'm on. Give me some sit-ups. Star jumps. Who calls it that? Who calls it that? Well, I'll be. Now take this and get on my sight. What'd you give me, friend? What'd you give me? I'll wear my camo top with pride. Oh, this beat. Listen to this beat. Check out my new... Where does that guy keep going? That guy's... He's doing something. I don't know. I don't like it. And because I haven't killed the dragon, I can't wear the plate body, the rune plate body yet. What? That dude was one-shotted? Alright, we're getting there, we're getting there. Hey, that's nice. Hey. Come on now. Get my bones. Alright. I feel like this Bob doesn't fit this village and wasn't here earlier. I'm not sure where it came from, but I'm okay with it because it's a change of pace. Yeah, what a jam. What a jam. Okay. Ah. All right. Oh, we're so close. We're so close. You guys are probably like, wow, he hasn't talked about games in a while. I don't know, just kind of lost it. When the guy recruited me for his little army corps, my mind just went blank. I was like, what? Now you guys are seeing all the different little mini games to keep people from botting. One of the ones they used to have was they've got stockades in Varrock, in the big city over to the east here. And what they used, if someone was chatting with you and you didn't answer soon enough, like one of the guys was talking to you and you didn't answer back in, X amount of times, they'd transport your character to the stockade, and then other players could throw tomatoes at you, and you'd be in there for like, I think you had to do a little like mini game to get out. It was super funny. are you? Let's see here. Sorry guys, one sec. All right, let's get him. Let's get him. Alright, my bones. My bones, your bones. These bones. Just became. All right. Guys, I don't mean to do this, I swear. I just have to do this right now. Otherwise, I'm gonna forget. Alright, back. That's probably why I get so many random events, because I get distracted. Not distracted, I just... Things, you know? Things I need to do. Alright. Yeah, there's the teal trim. But that's on Mithril. It looks better on Mithril, I think. Alright. Ba ba da ba ba da ba. So you compare this to when I was playing Everhood the other day, and it's just like Everhood required so much more of my focus. Like I looked at the VOD and I was kind of silent the entire stream because like you have to get the notes right, and I just it's actually really hard. And comparatively, I'm just like chatting away on RuneScape or Everhood. I'm just not. Do 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 do. Like where'd it go again? Why? It's okay. It's okay. The music is only on a loop for like a certain amount of time, and then it just decides, you know what? Either you go to a new area or you don't get music. them's them's the breaks. Maybe I need to fish a bit, get my fishing up. Oh, but I'm so close. Alright, we'll fish. We'll fish a bit. Get that music back. Give me that music. So yeah, sorry VOD watchers, I just had a quick couple emails I had to respond to and may have to respond to again. So I apologize. I know that's not very cash money of me, but ugh, that's the world we live in. You gotta have like 5 side hustles or else, 5 side hustles. You gotta be hustling. You gotta be, I'm playing RuneScape, but I'm also an Uber driver, but I'm also, you know, that kind of gets me. I will say that. That kind of gets me. When I hear that people, anyone, anyone, and it doesn't matter what they're doing, right? But I'll get into that. But it's like when they say they have, 3 full-time jobs, I'm kind of like, what? Because a full-time job is 40 hours a week, right? That's the definition. So then you're working 120 hours a week. That's not healthy. Oh, we're moving. That's not healthy. And what also that is, because that's a sentence, it's not healthy, but for some people, they'll say that, but then they'll be like, oh yeah, I've got a degree in flusums. And I'm kind of like, hold on, you've got a degree. You spent 4 years going to school. I didn't. Um, but you spent 4 years going to school, and you still have to work 3 full-time jobs? Like, what is the deal there? I always thought that if you went to school for, a degree, you'd get your degree, and then you'd kind of be living it. You'd be cozy, right? You wouldn't have to really worry about work or finances after you got your degree, because that was the trade-off, is that you kind of gave up a bit of your youth to do this. But then I hear, people have their degrees, but they either still can't find jobs, or, it's this crazy thing where I'm just kind of like, what is happening? What, how, how is this a thing, Like, I don't rub it in their face and like, ha, you wasted 14 years of your life, 4 years of your life. Um, but like, that's kind of how I feel, because if you're, if you did all that and you're still making the same amount as someone who didn't go to university, like, I guess you got this social experience that everyone talks about, right? Like, that's fine, that's good. But you're now you still have to work the same amount, if not more, because you have student loans, right? It kind of, I don't know why, I don't know why that's a thing, I guess. It kind of takes off the pedestal where, where before it was, if you went to university, you weren't just like set, but you were higher than those who didn't go to university. Like, you were in the upper echelons of society because you have, you know, but it's not just, the thing is, it's not just people with bachelors. It's people who have their master's degrees, or even one person I know, one. I can only say this for one. I'm not saying this is a generalized statement, but I know one person who has a PhD, and it's super specific, and they cannot land a job right now with their PhD. And so what they're doing is actually a lot less than what they should be doing. They're teaching the basics of um, their subject, when in reality, they've spent X amount of years getting to this specialization level, only to find out that, there's only 2 spots available for that specialization, and they're already filled. That's insane. So yeah, you can go around, you go around and say, yeah, I've got a PhD, yeah, it's great, but like, okay, so PhD is like what, 10 years? Everything combined, 10 years. So that's 10 years of schooling, 10 years of loans, 10 years of, you know, and now you're doing the same thing that someone with, a master's is doing, or that someone with a bachelor's is doing, right? It just, I just don't get it. I don't get it. The only reason that I can see to go to university is the social dynamic, which, if you play your cards right, will happen regardless of university or not, right? The only reason is I'm going to meet Anna Kendrick there. That's it. And we're going to sing a cappella. And it's going to be great. And everyone can shut up. That's the only reason I go to university. I don't see, like, maybe at one point, no, not maybe. At one point, there was this huge discrepancy between those who did and those who didn't. But now it's just like the lines are blurred. The lines don't really exist anymore. I've also heard people getting in trouble for teaching, because teaching or doing a job that requires a bachelor's, and they just write that they have the bachelor's, and then they don't. And then it's like, well, nobody's going to check, because who checks resumes these days? It's wild. We live in some wild times. Eh. We're so close. We're so close. We're so close. We're gonna get both at the same time. Like, this is crazy. I'm gonna eat a couple fish. Free up some space. Grab some bones. So I want to play Fortnite. She's matching him. I want to play Fortnite, but also I want to do Dragon Slayer and win. But also, I don't know if I'll be doing Dragon Slayer this stream. What I might do, I'm thinking, is a food break and then going to, oh, Chaos Runes, my PS5 for Fork Knife. And yeah, I'll lose Da Vinci. I'll lose him. I'll lose my VTuber status. And then I'll just stream Fortnite from my PS5. Yeah. I need to get that prayer level now because if I don't, I'll forget. Yeah, it was weird. Yesterday I was streaming RuneScape, which again takes nothing, right? Because it's super easy to run game. But yesterday, for some reason, like partway through, on my end anyway, it said that the stream wasn't able to process. But then when I was looking at it, it was still going. Like it was still clocking, but it was like Twitch was telling me that it wasn't, so I was getting mixed signals. But then afterwards, the VOD was totally fine. It just had me standing in a corner for a little bit. I was like, why? What's going on? Yes! Okay, perfect. Oh, this dude's got it. Oh, nice. 52. This dude's got a genie behind him. Of all the events, that dude is one of the best. He just straight gives you experience for talking to him. Alright, so let's go get this rune armor. Now that I've done all my grinding, which is pretty sick. Oh, he abandoned his genie. Oh, there you go. Can you imagine having a genie? What would you do? What would your 3 wishes be if you had a genie? This is a good question for what's going on here. For anyone who's watching the VOD, if you feel like interacting, no pressure. No pressure, obviously. Obviously, no pressure. If you feel like interacting, what would your 3 wishes be? See, I've got this fancy rune trimmed stuff, but I just don't want it. I'm not going to take it to an island of death. Alright, let's buy some rune. Ancient rune, ancient rune. Bandos rune. Rune armor set. It's expensive. It's expensive. Okay, bank. Drop off those coins. Sets. This is what I had to do here. Yeah. So I didn't know what I had to do last time. I was walking around with the trimmed stuff and I had no idea how to unpack it. It was very frustrating. Oh, chainmail. Frick. I need chainmail. So I can't actually... This is garbage, this is garbage. Rune. Chain. What? No. Exchange. Buy. Rune. Chain. Body. Yes. Perfect. Deposit, deposit, deposit. Done, 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 done. Deposit. Drop my camo top because I don't care. Oh, yes. Ah, I keep needing more stuff. Rune. Simi. I know that's one-handed, so I should be okay. I'm trying to max out my build here. Because I can't use a two-hander because I need the shield of no fire. Let's put that on. And I need all the cakes. Okay. Now ideally, this is going to be the winning build. What I'm going to do is I'll probably cap it there. And then fight the dragon first thing next stream that I stream RuneScape. So that way I'm set up, I'm good to go. Unless there's a hole in the ship, which I forgot about. But I'm sure it's fine. I don't know. That's something I'll deal with next stream. But I think for now, I'm going to take a break, get some food, and then we'll play some fork knife. Alright guys, see you soon.